Hello everybody, my name's Ray and as per the name, I love to read. Welcome to the channel, and if this is your first time joining us, I'm here to talk about some books. So this one is a tag, and my lovely friends Ross and Laura from Hardy's Books have tagged me to show you some of the beautiful books on my shelves. And I'm going to try and go for books that I've not shown you before. I'm also going to try and go for ones that I can reach, so books that are in reaching range. It's a bit of a mess up there. Okay, so let's get started. Now, the first one is a nice easy one. The prompt is to show you a book that I bought primarily or mostly because of the cover. And the first book that sprang to mind when I thought of this is a book that I can't find. I had about two or three copies at one point. A book called The Strange Affair of Spring-Heeled Jack, and it's by Mark Hodder. This was my first foray into steampunk. I had never heard of it before, and I was just really confused as to what was going on. We've got a Victorian world, but everything is different. This book does lots at the same time. There are lots of different threads going on. There's been sightings of Spring-Heeled Jack in Whitechapel. It's a fantastic book. I really enjoyed it, and if you look at the cover, which I will remind you of again here, it's got that lovely gilding, it's got lots of stuff going on, and it wasn't like anything else I'd seen at the time when it came out, and I have a big fondness for this series. They do go downhill as it goes along, but if you like a kind of fantasy steampunk romp and you've not really come across these before, if you like a bit of historicity but not necessarily historical accuracy in your books, then these are really good fun. And I am a bit of a sucker for anything that has that kind of gold gilding on it. In the same vein, and I've talked about this book a lot, so I won't go into much detail here, we've got things like the glass books of the Dream Eaters. Again, beautiful gilding on the cover. Just as soon as I picked it up I was like, this has to be mine. So eye-catching covers like that are really my jam. I've got a few more here that I picked up primarily because of the cover. This one here is the Fairy Loot edition of The City of Stardust, and I just love how it looks like a kind of fantasy Thomas Kincaid image there, and it's got the shininess of the writing, and it's just adorable. I saw this in someone's Instagram flat lay, and having not wanted to read this book when I saw the original cover, I immediately changed my mind on seeing this one. Not read it yet, so yeah. And again, that was one where the cover just completely suckered me into buying it, and look at those edges too, and nice little end papers. And yeah, okay, I'll try and keep it brief, Ray. This one as well was saw it on the shelf and couldn't resist the cover. You'll probably see a bit of a theme here. I'm a bit of a sucker for anything gilded, anything gothic, anything Victoriana, those kind of gas lamp fantasy, I think it's called, any of those kind of vibes, even if it isn't a gas lamp fantasy. If it's got a cover that looks like it might be, it's getting bought. And yeah, The Key and the Lock, again, I've not read it, but it's got a quote from my bestie Stuart Turton on the front. I mean, he doesn't know he's my bestie, but he totally is, whether he likes it or not. This is, yeah, it's a lovely cover, and I hope it lives up to my expectations. Another book that's cover was simply irresistible to me, and it was the same with Axio's romance book XOXO as well. I think that's by Axio. And there's just so much gorgeousness here. The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea, again, it's a YA romantasy, I believe. I've not read it yet, but this was simply a cover purchase. I didn't even read the blurb, I just saw it and I was like, I'm in love! I like pastel colours, I like lots of cities, things like that. That was that question. Next, let's go on to prompt number 2. A book you want to buy that has a beautiful cover. This one's a bit of a sore spot at the moment because there are several books that I want to buy that have very beautiful covers, but they are out of my price range. Someone very, very kindly gave me a voucher for the Folio Society, and the trouble is I've been on the website and now I want everything. There are so many gorgeous books, including a couple of limited editions that, so I'm holding back on purchasing those until I can be trusted to work out a budget properly. Yeah, so Subterranean Press, they've got some editions that I've had my eye on. Suntup Press as well, Suntup editions. And I've just got to be really, really careful because otherwise I'll just go crazy and buy all of them. 3. Your favourite series design. Well, this one's easy enough. I'll just leave this here. You may peruse. This is a gorgeous design. It's minimal, it's classic, it's parchment-like, it's got a bit of gilding on there, which obviously I'm a sucker for. It's just spot on. Absolutely love Robin Hobb. But again, I've talked about her quite a lot on the channel recently, so I'm gonna move on. Number 4. A book with a beautiful dust jacket or something unexpected under the jacket. I would love to go through all my books and see if there's anything unexpected under any of those jackets. I didn't used to take them off, so sometimes years later I'd kind of take the jacket off and be like, ooh, I never realised what you look like naked. Anyway, I've found a couple that I think fit this prompt. This might be a bit of a loose interpretation, but Starling House, this one here, sorry, everything's reflecting off my dust jacket there. But what it is, it's a transparent cover that underneath you've got the creepy mansion, and then it kind of folds forward like that to make a really dreamy kind of, and it's got the same on the back. And I just love it. I've not really got many books with that kind of design. It's a bit special, so I'm really looking forward to reading this one. I've heard really good things. It's kind of a horror, I understand, kind of fantasy horror type thing, and this will be perfect for October. I am taking this one to Gladstone's with me. I had another one for this, didn't I? I think I meant to use the Axio one as a beautiful dust jacket, but never mind, I've got this as well. This is the US hardcover of Cloud Atlas, and I really love this cover design. I think it's probably the standard edition for you guys over in America, but I just adore this cover. I was sent this by mistake. I have this in paperback as well. I was hoping to purchase the 20th anniversary edition. Was it the 10th anniversary edition? No, it'll be the 20th, won't it? In my head, 20 years was ages ago, but it probably isn't all that long ago. But this definitely fits the bill for a book with a beautiful dust jacket. Look at that. Oh. Naked Hardback, a gorgeous book with no dust jacket. Oh yes, right, this is great because I find that dust jackets get in the way. We're having a conversation in a Discord group not that long ago about what we do with dust jackets when we're reading, and apparently people just take them off and just leave them somewhere else while they're reading, and that does actually make perfect sense, but surely the time when you need the dust jacket to protect the book most is when it's out in the wild with you. So I don't know, it just confuses me, and if dust jackets didn't exist I would be perfectly happy. Yes, I've got a couple that didn't come with dust jacket but are beautiful special editions nonetheless. First of all, and I haven't read these yet, although they're top of my list to kind of get on with hopefully in the coming year, The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. Again, going with the theme, we've got that shiny gold, but this is a beautiful, beautiful cover, and it's not got a dust jacket despite being a hardback, which makes me happy. Here we have Circe as well. I believe it's pronounced Circe, apologies if it isn't, and again it matches. It's very lovely. I haven't read either of them. despite having a Song of Achilles necklace that I got from Tatty Divine when they collabed with the Women's Prize. But I just assumed I'd like it. I like to support businesses collaborating with books, with book projects. It makes me happy. Very beautiful. My other favourite, and these are so precious to me that I haven't actually got them out of the bubble wrap yet, but I will do just for you guys. So let's have a look what we've got. The Illumicrate version of the Wayfarers series. Look at that naked hardback. You've got the kind of nebulary, galaxy kind of design going all the way around and into the dust jacket. Because it's not got a end papers, because it's not got a dust jacket, it's very tactile. And it's just been living in my wardrobe nice and safe for when I reread this. Still beautiful. A closed and common orbit. The galaxy and the ground within. Here we go, that's a beautiful pink one. And to complete the series record of a Spaceborne Few. This is what they look like together. This is what they'll look like on the shelf. They are very beautiful. I don't know what order they go in. I will have to figure that out. Oh, I love them. They're beautiful. A beautiful paperback. Again, this is one, like, I can't find my favourite paperback, but my favourite paperback cover is this one here. This is a short story collection by Tom Barbash. I believe he has done novels, but this is the only work I've read by him, and I just adore the cover. It's so beautiful. It's got that lights through the dark thing that I find irresistible. Similarly, I really like the cover of this one by Raphael Bob Waxberg, who's the creator of BoJack Horseman on Netflix, which I'm sure most of you will have seen, or some of you will have seen. And I just love the pink. I just love it. And to be fair, that my love for this cover is probably accelerated by the fact that it's a really, really brilliant short story collection. And I don't even like short stories that much, but this was extraordinary. Also on the pile, and again, I can only get to a small portion of my hardbacks at the moment, of my paperbacks at the moment. This is my copy of To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf. It's just a lovely design. And my friend Becky is a huge fan of Virginia Woolf, and I keep meaning to read her so that I can let her know what I think. And I started this one, but I just wasn't in the mood for it. I was reading it during a busy, on my lunch break, on a busy day at work, and just wasn't in the mood. I will shelve this one for now and start again. I like this cover design. Happiness Falls by Angie Kim. It's about the disappearance of the father figure and the impact it has on the family, and you know, the kind of mystery from there. And this is just a really aesthetically pleasing cover to me. The colours, I like that. Again, you've got the kind of nocturnal, kind of light through dark kind of theme, which is, like I say, you'll get used to, if you watch my channel enough, you'll get used to what I like. It's I'm quite consistent. And but the colours in this one are, I just really love that book cover. You'll probably notice a theme again. You've got that kind of doll's house, what's going on inside, light through the dark. Just anything like that. It's the sort of thing I would do in a jigsaw as well. Often you get kind of buildings that have the facade opened up, and I love it. That's all my paperbacks. Well, it's not all my paperbacks. I've got about like 1,000 more, but a non-fiction book with a lovely cover. Now this is harder because I don't like to promote non-fiction that I've not read, just in case when I've read it, it turns out to be a pile of poop. And more so with non-fiction than fiction. So I've played this one really safe. First of all, I'd like to show you my Atlas Obscura. This is gorgeous. And it's a chunky book that just takes you through lots and lots of obscure spots that you can visit in the world. I don't do a lot of travelling, I don't read a lot of travel writing, but I do like to look at pictures and find out about places in the world. So this and kind of shiny travel magazines right up my street. I like to look at the pictures and I like to be taken to other places. So that's definitely, it was a coffee table book probably about 10 years ago now. Probably should read a bit more of it. And finally, illustrated and compiled by Jane Mount, who you may have seen does these illustrations for like framed pictures, bibliophile. It's a miscellany of various books, and if you want to grow your TBR even more, it's a fantastic book. And then there is the equally beautiful Diverse Spines version, which is a little bit smaller, a little bit cuter, and again it's got loads more recommendations. Truly beautiful books, and I just love the artwork. It's cute, it's quirky, and oh, I would love to collaborate with her, and because I would love to be able to make a book like these, but unfortunately I can't draw at all. So I could write the text and tell you which books to read, but I couldn't make it look good. Second to last, a book with great end papers. This is probably one of the most expensive sets I've got. This is the Litjoy copy of Daughter of Smoke and Bone, the trilogy by Lani Taylor. Now, I haven't read this trilogy, but I have read the Strange the Dreamer, Muse of Nightmares duology, and it was fantastic. It was in such a beautiful, dreamlike world. I can't wait to read these, which are annotated and very lovely, very well end papered. And this is one of the few books that I have that actually has the silvered edging, which I'm in love with. Look at that. And the end papers are just gorgeous illustrations. Different ones back and front. Again, you've got annotations along there. There's a version of Strange the Dreamer done in this fashion, and unfortunately I do know someone who's got a copy of it, but I don't have a copy myself, and it would cost probably far more than I could justify to get one. But if you like your fantasy, gentle and a little bit romantic, Lani Taylor is fantastic, and if you haven't checked her out already, she is one of the best, so highly recommend. Speaking of end papers, you know what else I like on end papers? Is a map. This definitely falls into the sort of cover that I would go for, your kind of vintage paraphernalia, possibly set in Victorian times, map on the end papers, straight in the basket. Finally, we've got just one more prompt, and that is spines. Now, I know not everyone's a fan of a sprayed edge. It seems to have become very quickly an enormous phenomenon, and I remember the first time I ever saw a sprayed edge, and it was just a block pink, and I was like, wow, I love that. And then over the last kind of 5-10 years, everything now has sprayed or stenciled edges, and you can almost sometimes your special edition looks a bit bare without them. Where did I put my stack? I'm running out of space. I'm just sat here in a little island of books. Oh yeah, I know what I brought down to show you. Frolicking Dragons. This one is the Waterstone Special Edition. And this one I got from America. And again, Frolicking Dragons. I could have a whole shelf full of these and I would love it. So that's all of the prompts. I do have a few other books that I'd like to show you. I bought this one just the other day and I'm in love with it. So this is Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, and this is the Suntop edition. And the reason why I'm so in love with this edition is the artwork. This is the artist's edition. It's the lowest price point of the lot, but you've got that beautiful dust jacket, and I'll see if I can find you another illustration. There's an example. So yeah, I bought this purely for the art. There's about 6 illustrations in there, all by the same artist, who is Hilary Clark with a Q, C-L-A-R-C-Q. So I'm not a huge fan of the original paperback covers for Blake Crouch's books. I don't think they quite do him justice, but this certainly does. What an addition. Also, this just arrived today. I thought this would be a lot smaller. I thought it would be Diddy, but we have an enormous green and pink 2-in-1 bumper, Bridgerton 1 and 2. I have never watched or read Bridgerton. Apparently it's like a smutty Downton Abbey, but in a slightly different time period. This is gorgeous. I just love the design and I hope I like it. I have to have the matching ones now, don't I? It's just so neon. I love it. And finally, to the lovely folks that tagged me, this is a blame it on you purchase. You are responsible for this because I watched your beautiful, beautiful video and oh, I wanted the hardback versions. This is from Fitz and the Fool. I am not quite at this trilogy yet. I've just finished The Golden Fool and I'm moving on to Fool's Fate. But this is the final trilogy. This is the final installment, and this was their pick for best series as well. I completely agree with them. The art is stunning, and yeah, I love Robin Hood so much. I'm now going to spend the next half an hour putting all of these away. I hope I can remember where I got them all from. And if you have a BookTube channel and you want to show us some of your beautiful books, please do it. I probably shouldn't watch any more videos because it'll give me ideas. And I shouldn't be buying any more books. I've been collecting them for forever. But I love to see all the different editions, and I also like to know what people like. Do you have a favourite paperback? Do you have a favourite hardback? Let me know in the comments. What do you like design wise? What is it that makes a cover jump out and shout, buy me, buy me, buy me, or borrow me, borrow me, borrow me? What makes you really want to read a book? Let me know, and I'll catch you all later.